Hey everyone, today we'll recap a 2019 mysterious thriller called Do Not Reply. Spoilers ahead, so watch out and enjoy. Jennifer was staying late at the office on a Friday night. She needed to catch a plane to New York for Valentine's Day to see her ex-fiancé. Before leaving, she quickly wrote him an email. Not wanting to miss her flight, she grabbed some candy and left the office. At the same time, a guy was also getting ready to leave work, and they both ended up waiting for the elevator together. Jennifer got on the elevator on the 49th floor, and the guy joined her on the 42nd floor. He tried to start a conversation and make jokes, but Jennifer didn't seem interested in talking. The guy showed Jennifer an etching on the elevator wall, but suddenly the elevator stopped. He tried all the buttons and even the alarm, but nothing worked, even though the lights were still on. They waved to the camera, but nobody responded. To make things worse, their phones had no service because they were underground. Jennifer worried about missing her flight and wondered where the building's security was. 15 minutes later, they tried calling for help and banging on the door, but still no luck. The guy thought there might be an escape hatch, so he lifted Jennifer up to check the ceiling. She heard her hand banging on it, so he put her down. An hour passed, and Jennifer realized she'd miss her flight. Despite the guy's attempts to lighten the mood with jokes, she cursed in frustration. They finally introduced themselves and continued chatting as they waited for help. The guy offered Jennifer his water bottle, but they joked about opening the wine he had with him instead. They both realized they had bottle openers in their bags and laughed about it. They didn't open the wine, but Jennifer accepted his water. To make up for the lack of food, Jennifer shared some candy with the guy, though they decided to save it in case they were stuck until Tuesday. After 4 hours, Jennifer needed to pee but was embarrassed to do it in front of the guy. He suggested she go in the corner or use her thermos. She made him close his eyes and cover his ears while she relieved herself. The guy started singing to give her privacy. Afterward, she added to the drawing on the elevator wall. They played a game and started talking about more personal things. The guy admitted he was too obsessed with his job and had nobody looking for him. Jennifer confessed she wanted to surprise someone in New York but wasn't sure if he wanted her there. The guy decided it was time to open the wine, and they toasted to still being alive. As time passed, they drew each other and grew closer. The guy confessed that he'd seen Jennifer before in the office building but hadn't mentioned it earlier to avoid seeming like a stalker. They finished their drawings and shared them with each other. Jennifer's portrait of the guy was more lighthearted, while his was more serious. She apologized and took a photo of the drawing, joking that she'd use it as her profile picture if they made it out alive. They then moved on to talk about food, but since they were both hungry, Jennifer asked the guy to change the subject. He listed off different topics, and she chose to talk about making love. Jennifer turned her camera on him and asked about the most unconventional place he'd made love before. The guy was a bit shy, so she shared her own story first, telling him about an encounter with a college ex-boyfriend in a library. When it was the guy's turn, he still felt hesitant to share. Jennifer encouraged him to make up a story, so he told one about a work picnic where things got steamy in a car. He admitted feeling uncomfortable and stopping things. He apologized, but Jennifer reassured him it was fine. Feeling a connection, the guy awkwardly kissed her, and they began to make love in the elevator. Afterward, the guy expressed his feelings, but Jennifer pulled away, revealing her desire to reconcile with her ex. She explained that while their encounter was enjoyable, she wanted to keep things casual because her feelings for her ex were genuine. Convinced of their connection, the guy expressed his belief that Jennifer's ex didn't deserve her. Jennifer became angry, stating that she still loved her ex and that once they were out of the elevator, they would go their separate ways. Despite her insistence, the guy continues to assert that they belong together. Jennifer is frustrated by his persistence, especially considering their current situation. Suddenly, the guy undergoes a transformation, and Jennifer senses a shift in his demeanor. He reveals his true identity, confessing that he lied about where he worked and even his name. He admits to watching her every day at work, showing her security photos and videos he took of her, detailing the times and dates. Jennifer is frightened as the guy discloses that he is actually the building's security guard. He becomes angry, lamenting that people like him often go unnoticed. He insists he knows her better than her ex and confesses to orchestrating their current situation. With a key, he unlocks the elevator, shocking Jennifer with the realization of his manipulation. Feeling betrayed and threatened, Jennifer threatens to call the police. In response, the guy grabs her, and a struggle ensues. In the chaos, Jennifer's flailing legs inadvertently break the elevator key. The fight between Jennifer and the man escalates, with Jennifer knocking him out with her shoe in self-defense. Worried that she may have harmed him, Jennifer approaches cautiously, only for the man to suddenly spring back to consciousness and knock her down in return. Both of them lie unconscious in the elevator for a while. When Jennifer wakes up, she finds the man already awake. She demands to know why he did what he did. He explains that he wanted to isolate her from the outside world so they could form a genuine connection. He believes they had not just a date but an entire relationship during their time stuck in the elevator. Jennifer remains skeptical, convinced that someone will eventually come to rescue them. However, she soon learns that the man has taken all the shifts for the extended weekend, meaning they won't be rescued until Tuesday. Faced with this realization, Jennifer asks what he plans to do. His chilling response is that he'd rather kill her than go back to prison. As Jennifer confronts him about his actions, he becomes enraged. After he calms down, he opens the present she had bought for her ex-fiancé. Inside, he finds a shirt and a box containing cigars and accessories. He puts on the shirt and lights a cigar, mocking Jennifer about how she could have won her ex back with such thoughtful gifts. In a twisted moment of irony, he wishes her a happy Valentine's Day. Sometime later, the man apologizes to Jennifer for frightening her and asks if they can reconcile. He pleads for another chance. Bothered by the malfunctioning neon light in the elevator, the man uses Jennifer's thermos to break it. He realizes that the ceiling panels likely hide light bulbs that need replacing and thinks he can escape through there. As he breaks open the panel with the thermos, Jennifer stands beside him. He asks her to give him a boost to reach the opening, promising to come back for her. However, Jennifer suggests it would be easier if he boosts her instead, as she lacks the strength to lift him. He doubts she'll return for him and fears she'll call the cops. Jennifer reassures him with everything he wants to hear, convincing him to help her up. She climbs onto his shoulders and manages to pull herself out of the elevator. The man directs her to the ladder in the door, relieved they've finally escaped. As Jennifer climbs the ladder, she defiantly flips him off, angering him. Nevertheless, he finds a way to exit the elevator too, determined not to let her get away. Jennifer, already making her way to the door, hears his warning that she's about to die. Just as she's about to reach the door, he catches up to her level and follows her. As Jennifer opens the door and screams for help, the man suddenly grabs her, sending both of them tumbling back into the elevator. They fall unconscious from the impact. Jennifer comes to first, her head spinning. She spots the fire sprinklers and quickly devises a new plan to escape. Trying to activate the fire alarms, she attempts to light a cigar. As the elevator fills with smoke, the man regains consciousness only to be met with a punch from Jennifer, breaking his nose. She manages to restrain him with a piece of clothing, demanding answers. He warns her that the fire alarm won't work and they'll risk getting soaked and electrocuted instead. Undeterred, Jennifer threatens him and coerces a confession out of him. She turns on her camera, recording herself explaining the situation before turning it on him, demanding his real name. He reveals he's John Deacons and admits to deliberately trapping them in the elevator and etching the drawing on the wall. He confesses to trapping and kidnapping her, and Jennifer makes him admit to his actions on camera, including physical harm inflicted upon her. When asked why, John admits he just wanted a date with her, believing she would have rejected him if he had asked her out normally. He reveals his past as an accountant, portraying himself as a former hotshot before becoming a security guard. John reveals the truth behind the story about the girl in the car, admitting that it ended tragically with the girl's death in a ravine after a horrific accident. Despite the severity of the incident, John received only a 6-month sentence, using his resources to keep himself out of jail for long. After his release, John found himself limited to the only job he could get, a security guard. Feeling constrained by his circumstances, he yearned to regain a sense of normalcy and identity, which led him to orchestrate the events in the elevator with Jennifer. When she asks why he chose her, he simply states that she is special in his eyes. As Monday arrives and they remain trapped, another security guard named Eddie brings his new girlfriend to the building to show her the roof. When Eddie realizes John is missing, he checks the security monitors and discovers John and Jennifer stuck in the elevator. This prompts him to wake them both up. Jennifer begs John to get them out of the elevator, and he assures her he will come down and free them while his girlfriend sleeps on the nearby couch. Eddie arrives at the elevator wielding a crowbar to pry open the doors. Jennifer, eager to escape, moves toward the opening, but Eddie insists on fully opening the doors first. Suddenly, John viciously knocks Jennifer unconscious. He then approaches Eddie, pretending to offer help. Eddie hands over his keys, but when John claims they're not working, Eddie suggests he'll climb in to assist them. As Eddie attempts to enter the elevator, John activates the elevator, gruesomely severing Eddie in half. John then knocks Jennifer out once more, drags her to his car, and stows her in the trunk. Returning to the building, John disposes of Eddie's body and cleans himself up before donning his uniform and slipping a cigar into his pocket. He proceeds to the front desk, deleting all evidence from the security cameras. Upon awakening, Eddie's girlfriend becomes a witness to John's actions, leading to her demise as well. John eliminates any traces of her presence before leaving the building. He drives Jennifer to a secluded location to dispose of her. He pours some gas into a big trash can before opening the trunk of his car. John tells Jennifer that he still likes her but they can't be together. Jennifer pretends to be dead, and when John goes to the trash can, she hits him on the head, gets in the car, and starts driving. Suddenly, she sees a lit cigar in the car's tray. Jennifer stops the car and backs up, crashing into a scared John. She gets out of the car and finds him in the trash can. Jennifer lights the cigar again and walks away, then she tosses the lit cigar into the trash can, where it burns John alive.